Hey everyone, this is Anthony here. Um, I'm making this video about 6 or 7 months after taking Flumazenil and being off benzos. It's currently May 23rd, 2026, and in my real, genuine style, coming to you all natural, no haircut, no shave, no shower. But yeah, hopefully this video reaches some people. I've been getting a lot of comment on Reddit. Excuse me, my eyes are darting back and forth because I'm looking at Reddit right now. Getting a lot of people reaching out to me on Reddit about Flumazenil, how am I doing, you know, how are things 6 months out and whatnot. So this is a very disorganized but long video about what's been going on with me, how I'm doing, and whatever kind of pops into my head. Just super spontaneous, not scripted. Um, just put it out there. So yeah, a lot of people reached out to me on Reddit, and quite a few people from Germany actually reached out to me. Actually, one person's getting flumazenil treatment now in Germany. She was able to stop taking benzos, um, and a few other people. A couple reached out to me. They actually want to try the clinic I went to in Italy, but they had some kind of good questions and some things that made me think. So, big picture, let me get into it. Doing well. I'm off benzos. I don't take any medications. No THC, no CBD, no antidepressants, no Rembrons, no melatonins, nothing. Just eye drops. How am I doing? I'm doing good. I still have anxiety. I had the same anxiety I had before I started benzos 21, 22 years ago. But I think the big thing now is I'm learning to cope with it naturally, learning to not get stressed. Just simple things that you should learn. We learn as kids and in kindergarten. But yeah, I have no desire to take benzos or any medication ever again. It's all fake. Sorry. It's past few months have been massive realizations and changes in my life. I got married. Doing, and hi Rona, Rona's probably watching this. I realized I think my goal is not to be happy. My goal is to be content and satisfied. And there's moments of happiness and whatnot, but I'm always gonna have anxiety and depression. But I think I'm realizing now I'm no different than anyone else. Depression and anxiety to me now I realize are just me thinking my problems are worse than the problems that everyone else in the world has, and maybe me going blind and losing my eyesight does make my problems worse, but everyone's got shit to deal with, right? So I can't complain too much. Everyone's got it tough, and my parents are still alive. I'm married to someone who's super awesome, super patient, super understanding. So I don't know. I hate to get philosophical here, but I think my anxiety and depression, everyone's are just kind of. It's really just it is. I'm realizing now it's all on how you look at the problem, look at the situation, and I'm not. I know people out there who are on benzos right now are thinking, "It's not me. I'm different." That doesn't. That's not true. It probably is the case, but it's just I'm getting my natural coping mechanism back in my case. But I didn't make videos for a while. Been a couple months, just because it's just been so many life changes, mental shifts, trying to get into a better natural health state, and realizing it's not really coming. I just think a lot of stuff that's going on in the world really bothered me today, especially some stuff that I'm seeing in the Middle East and whatnot. So life is short, so I'm trying to enjoy it, and yeah. So my point is, I think my anxiety and depression do get better just from interacting with others, hearing from people that maybe I've reached or give some hope to. And so yeah, I want to continue to do that. I think it's incredibly selfish of me to not stay active and talk and engage with people. And like I'm never looking for money or fame or trying to put anything out there fake. I think I am seeing things so much more clearly now. I think that the benzos were just masking, and I think it's why the underlying theme that ties my video together is I think a lot of things benzos were just masking everything, and coming off them after 20 years, I think things that I just was suppressing about the whole world that were really bothering me more than I could have imagined are starting to come out now. But I'm just learning how to deal with them better on my own, using my own mechanisms and coping skills. So I think that's the person who's getting treatment now in Germany. It sounds like that person's kind of going through something similar. So I think a lot of the worries and troubles of the world that we take so personal, especially people taking benzos. It's I forget where I'm going with this one, but yeah, it doesn't. It's all tied into the anxiety. Yeah, I know it's just a little bit disjointed, but I'm doing good, really. I'm still on disability. I'm not going to work, but I'm married, I'm taking care of my parents. My girlfriend, my wife, sorry, is from the Philippines, living here in the U.S. So I'm trying to get her settled and feel comfortable and whatnot. So I'm just focused on living life. And one thing I should note for people who are considering treatment for Flumazenil, I had the luxury of not having to return to work, and I also had my parents physically supporting me here, and my girlfriend at the time was now supporting me emotionally in my recovery. So that's part of the challenge I'm realizing that one of the person in Germany is going through now is just not having people immediately around you for those first few days and weeks and even months coming off benzos. I think people might, or what I perceive as withdrawal or some mild withdrawal symptoms, is actually the not having any coping mechanisms at all. That's one thing actually I wanted to point out in this video, is that benzos destroy all of your coping mechanisms. Well, for me, I had zero left, none. So now I'm day by day learning how to cope with things on my own, and it feels like anxiety, it feels like withdrawal, but it's not. It's just me learning how to do it, and it's it's everything. It's like learning to walk again. Like benzos shut down all my natural coping skills. Like now I'm learning that eating a good, healthy, well-balanced breakfast, lunch, and dinner suck up a lot of anxiety, and I feel better when I do those things. But for a long time with benzos, I just was probably skipping meals and missing meals, and my anxiety would get worse. So now I'm realizing maybe my anxiety wasn't as bad as I thought it was. So I'm eating a good breakfast, a good lunch, a good dinner, healthy stuff, but stuff to make me full, and that's helping. So little things like that are massive victories on the big picture. But back to my point about having people around you. It is important, because for the first few days and weeks of the Flumazenil months, you're just not going to be yourself. You're not going to want to jump right back into things, and you shouldn't. I didn't drive to the gym, which is about 1 mile, 1.23 kilometers away. So super close, but I didn't do that for quite a few weeks. I felt dizzy and uneasy and just shaking and things like that. So give yourself time. I had the luxury of having people around me to cook food, take care of me, and I didn't do basic things like shower for a long time. I got back, and I didn't get asked a lot. I had to fly back from Italy to here in Philly, direct flight from Milan to Philly. That was hard at the time, but I had to do it, or else I would have been dead. I had to fly to Italy to get the treatment. I would have been dead. So I don't know how I did it. I must have had the strength to do it at the time, but I did it. And so it's something I never really gave myself credit for, and I think you all probably could relate, where you lose your coping skills, you don't think you could do it, and I had to take extra Klonopin and to get to Italy to get in a situation. So probably hard myself, and I'm sure you all can relate. But there is hope out there. It's just it's you don't get much withdrawals off the Flumazenil, but it's not necessarily super walk. You do walk off it, but having people around you really helps. And one thing you shouldn't do is guilt yourself or to feel bad for not showering, or not going to the gym, not eating, or not being able to get out of bed at all. That's 100% natural. So I didn't get back into the swing of things until I forced myself after a few weeks to make breakfast, to take a shower, to groom, to cut my nails, to go to the gym. So, but if I didn't have my mom and dad, cooking for me, doing laundry, those sort of things, clean the house up, it would have been much more difficult. So just something I want to put in there that maybe didn't come across in my earlier videos that I'm seeing now. But so I don't want to sugarcoat things either. But I don't want to leave you hopeless either. But I would say false hope. I think that's really important. I do want to be realistic. So, and if anybody has any questions or I wasn't clear or didn't speak too clearly, please let me know. But like something I mentioned earlier, quite a few people from Germany have been reaching out. The one lady, again, she's kind of coming off the treatment now, but she was like one of the first people to try it in Germany. Now they're considering making Flumazenil more routine treatment. She's definitely having a tough time of it right now. I don't want to talk about it too much because I didn't run this by her first, but I just wanted to put it out there from my perspective. She was able to come off, so it's but not necessarily like a linear healing and getting better. So another couple from Germany, originally from Algiers, shout out, reached out to me as well, and they're considering going to Italy, but they have the dynamic of having a child. So I'm hoping I'm answering some questions that other people have, and just know how I'm doing. But what have I been up to since my last video, which I'm gonna just assume was in January sometime. So got married and engaged in the Philippines, came back here and got married. A lot of big life changes. That's her clothes right here. But yeah, super spontaneous video. That's how I do it. There's a lot of big life changes. So not only getting married, but coming off benzodiazepines, no longer working, getting put on U.S. government disability, living off of a limited income, all those fun life things. So yeah, I try to balance all the crazy stuff that's been happening in my life, the good and the bad, and in between. I'm trying to think what else is. So I think something that's kind of highlight what happened over the past few months, kind of anxiety-wise. Anxiety, it definitely feels like how it was 20 years ago, but I am just dealing with it better in general, day by day, getting better coping mechanisms, learning to recognize when I'm stressed out, which I never realized everything stressed me out, or I overreacted to everything, and my immune system, my central nervous system has like been wired for that for the past 20 years, and just having someone point that out to me, my wife pointed that out to me, and me realizing that, it's been huge for me to recognize when I'm spiraling. And so now I'm getting much better doing that, kind of just learning my own coping mechanisms. Let's see, looking at some message requests I got on Reddit as well. I'll see if I can putting out there. The clinic name, yeah. I've been asking a lot, what's the clinic name in Italy? So the name is, I'll spell it out when I'm done. Casa di Cuore Privata alle Vetture, which translates into private health house. Casa, C-A-S-A, D-D-I, Cura, C-U-R-A, Privata, P-R-I-V-A-T-A, Le Vetture is what they call it for short, L-E-B-E-T-U-L-L-E. They don't specifically mention Flumazenil on the website, but they do mention like benzodiazepine or Verona Detox on their website. That's what they're referring to. And I directly reached out to the doctor there, Dr. Somagnini. He speaks English perfectly, Italian, German, and a few other languages. So I'll put his name out there. I'm not trying to guard any information or keep any information to myself. So hopefully that helps some people who might have had questions. Alright, I'll keep this video maybe tighter than expected, and I'm sure some other things will pop into my head as soon as I'm done. So I'm going to try to maybe post a little more frequently just to kind of let you all know how I'm doing. Still alive. I'm getting better. I guess I'm not, I don't want to say the word happy, but I'm happy, but like, I'm happy as a person, any living person can be, especially as I'm 42 now, and just like coming off the medicine for so long. It's been a big reality check and wake up call about, but I'm not killing myself for taking the medicine for so long, because I think I'm just reacting to a lot of things I've experienced and seen in the world, and I think maybe you are all in the same boat too. All right, thanks, guys. Hope this helps even just one person. Cool. All right, talk soon.